Good evening. We'll go ahead and call the public hearing to order. That will be taking place prior to the regularly scheduled board meeting. And Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sparks, members of the board and public. As is customary this time of the year, we're going to begin with the public hearing and the truth and taxation hearing in regards to the proposed budget, which is on the agenda for your consideration and possible board action. And so with that, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Mrs. Huey, who's going to provide us a summary for the hearing. Mrs. Huey.
Good evening, Dr. Sparks, members of the board, district administration, and our community. Tonight, I will be presenting the truth and taxation first. We'll start with that. And so what is truth and taxation? Basically, it's adjacent ways. And so the board is very familiar with adjacent ways, and they're very restricted funds, but the governing board may levy for adjacent ways every fiscal year. And this fiscal year, I just want to remind everyone what the monies can be used for. And they're for things like utility lines, roadways, anything that's adjacent to our property that will benefit our district or any of our schools. And so just another reminder that in order to, even though that the monies belong to the district, the projects have to go through the SFD, so the School Facilities Division, formerly known as SFB. And so just a reminder that if there are any projects and when there are any projects that we have to go through them because they're the oversight of the funds, just to make sure that the projects meet the expectation of what the law allows us to use them for. So in your packet, I added all the adjacent waste statutes. So what I'm proposing is a fiscal year 27 amount of $600,000. The cost to our taxpayers is $12.27 on a $100,000 home for every $100,000. The average taxpayer will not see an increase to their overall tax rate, although this is an amount that was less than last year. But I want to reassure everyone that the actual tax rate won't be increased from last year due to the adjacent waste allocation. As a reminder, what did we use adjacent waste for in the past? The light at Walden Grove, the entrance to Walden Grove, was one example of a use of adjacent waste. Our utilities, when we connected to the town of Sahuarita for our water, our potable water. So when we connected there, the light at the Fry's going into the transportation area, that was another example of use of adjacent waste. So with that, I open it up to any questions that the board may have at this time in regard to adjacent waste.
Thank you very much. Do we have any comments, questions for Mrs. Huey for the truth and taxation and adjacent ways?
Perfect.
Thank you.
If I may go into the actual recommendation for the adopted budget. I went over the adopted budget, the proposed budget last board meeting, and so that's why you will see no change from the proposed budget to the adopted budget. What you'll see here is very lean, very conservative budget. What I did include is the inflation factor of the 2%, but I also reported the ADM at a decline. Again, I went to a conservative, proposed conservative budget. The override, again, remains the same. Our energy management savings fund, that is also the same as the proposed, so there's no changes there. And what we're proposing for a maintenance and operation budget limit of $63,457,471. Next, I'll go over our district additional assistance, our DAA, and again, no change from the proposed budget. Again, these funds are for things like furniture and equipment, any renovations, things of that nature to our facilities. And the monies come from the state, but it's off of prior year ADM, which is different than our maintenance and operation, which is current year ADM. In the budget I'm proposing is a total for DAA of $6,755,768, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions or comments about the proposed budget? Thank you. I'd just like to say again, I think I've said this last time, and I'll say it again, I appreciate the fact that we budget conservatively. There is an effort to make sure that we're budgeting at a highly realistic level with conservative structures built in so that we aren't caught off guard. I think some of our counterparts across the state don't necessarily always do that. I'm not picking on anybody in particular, but I appreciate that we predict less. And it's easier to, oh, we got a little more, and make sure that our budget sits below what we think might actually be the outcome, but also that puts us in a position where we don't get stuck overcommitting on a budget, which I appreciate. So that's all. I think it's just, I think conservative budgeting is real budgeting. It's realistic and based on real numbers, and I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
So if there's no other comments, any comments, questions, then I think we go ahead and
Yes, sir.
close.
Close the hearing and proceed to
Close
the
the
meeting.
hearing. We'll go ahead and close the hearing and go ahead and move on to the regularly scheduled board meeting, and we will go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to roll call. Ms. Palacios.
Governing Board President, Dr. John Sparks.
Present.
Governing Board Clerk, Mr. Anthony Bruno.
Present.
Governing Board Member, Mrs. Amy Petersmark.
Present.
Governing Board Member, Mrs. Denise Reese.
Present.
Governing Board Member, Mr. Raul Rodriguez.
Present.
District Administration Superintendent, Dr. Manuel Valenzuela.
Present.
Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Lisette Huey.
Present.
Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Darlene Robinson.
Present.
Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Scott Downs.
Here.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to the approval of the agenda. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, sir. President Sparks, members of the board, at this time, I do recommend approval of the agenda as it was revised.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion about the revised agenda? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to no approval of the minutes, correct? Oh, is there approval of the minutes?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
approval
I
of the
believe we
minutes,
do.
Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, sir. Thank you, President Sparks, members of the board. You have in your packet draft copies of the minutes from the regularly scheduled meeting of the board back on June 10th, 2026, and after your consideration, I do recommend approval at this time.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? This website did an update and it looks weird. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the superintendent's report, Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sparks. Even in literally the heat of the summer, there's a lot of stuff going on. First of all, I'd be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to invite everybody after this meeting to attend the send-off of the Sahuarita High School Marching Mustangs band as they have a send-off celebration at the stadium, a community event, to send them off and listen to perhaps a sneak peek of their music. They will be representing our community, the state of Arizona, in America's Birthday Parade, the semi-quincentennial parade in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and they're getting ready to go, I believe, next week. So hopefully we'll be able to go and celebrate their performance here this evening after the board meeting. The other thing I just wanted to share is that in our relentless commitment to honor the trust and the dollar of the public, I just wanted to show a few pictures regarding the utilization of our bond dollars. We have been really busy, and Scott's been really busy, and as you can see, we're not in the auditorium today, and that's why. It is under a full-scale renovation with paint, improvements in the electrical systems, the lighting systems, fire alarm improvements, painting that's going to be done on the inside and on the outside. That place is like a crown jewel, and we're committed to keeping it that way. I think the next page there, you see the wall starting to come up on the brand new 475-seat Sahuarita Performing Arts Center. which is, as you can tell, well underway. I think on the next page, we'll see some other bond projects. This one you probably, hopefully you didn't trip over the fence on your way over here, but this is improvements that are being made adjacent to the Lynx site. You can see some groundwork, some earthwork. There's some new playground equipments and some courtyard improvements that are going on all over. I think we have some from, well, this one is at SHS, and this is the infamous sidewalk that I think is going to make things safer and more smooth flow of people coming onto the SHS campus in a place where cars and pedestrians often converge on a regular basis. So that is really exciting. Also, I don't know if that's the library.
It's a classroom.
Those are classrooms.
That's a Sahuarita High School classrooms. I want to say they were science rooms.
Science, it looks like they're science, they look like lab benches. But if you go to the libraries, we'll have to bring those pictures next time. They do not look like the libraries of Mr. Bruno's era or even of mine.
You don't miss a beat, do you?
No, well, and among us, you're the only one I believe that actually attended here, so you're a natural target, all in good faith. But it looks like a modern, contemporary library space over there, a learning center with technological access. I think they're even putting a coffee bar into the one at SHS. So beautiful there. This is SPS. You may not recognize it, though, because that's the gym. It has been gutted and is being totally renovated and remodeled and beautified and made functional, and also converted to its original cafeteria function to where we can provide food service to students there. So very, very exciting. You notice you don't see that historic burnt orange carpet that was there. It has left the building literally, and we look forward to getting that project completed as well. Oh, there we go. There's the Sahuarita Marching Mustang. So we hope everybody can come on out this evening. I don't think it's going to last too long, but it's a chance to kind of celebrate as a community that we rallied together. You know, a year ago, we set out to raise about $200,000 to get them and their instruments and everything up and back. It's a pretty daunting task, but this community worked hard, parents, businesses, schools, town, and we got it done. I think they take off next week, right, Denise? Yep. So that's all for my report this evening. I'll turn it back to you, Dr. Sparks.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. It's always good information. Always, running around the district recently, like, there's stuff going on everywhere.
Lots of stuff going on.
And I like
Yes,
the
sir.
sidewalk, and I also noticed the town putting in all that sidewalk along La Villita and also on El Toro. Like, it's the time of sidewalk,
Yes, sir.
which is great. We'll go ahead and move on to governing board reports, and Mrs. Reese.
I just want to say, if anyone's available to come out and wish the band well, wish the Sahuarita Mustang Marching Band well as they get finalize their preparations to go to Philadelphia, you are absolutely most welcome. It is supposed to be fairly quick, about 30 minutes is all, and we would love to have as many members of the community out there tonight as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez. No report. Thank you very much. Ms. Petersmore.
Yes, please. So I'm super excited to see the show tonight. I'm glad we brought that all up, and I can't wait to see them in the parade. It's so super exciting. And being a Pennsylvania girl originally, make sure they drink water. I'm sure you guys will do a great job of that, but they're going to think that they're fine because it's really humid there, and you don't want them to fall out. That's something I always remember when I go back home to visit everyone. So just give a shout out to them, and please be safe. So again, super, super excited. And then I know we like to share. It's really important to share information. So for the families still considering, what are we going to do this school year? Just don't forget about our fantastic Sahuarita Digital Pathways Academy, fully online, fully accredited. Also, the high school students can do a hybrid. So great options for the community, for our students to be successful. And if you participate in those, if you want to go hybrid or you want to be fully online, you can participate in sports. So you're part of our district and participate in sports. And so that's another great thing to share and for everybody who's trying to make that decision right now. So come on over to Digital Pathways Academy and see the principal. The teachers are fantastic, and there's a lot of information online. So I just wanted to share that. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bruno.
Yeah, I'm first going to comment to our superintendent that historic orange.
Yes, sir.
That was to hide tang and spaghetti sauce. That was the reason behind it.
And now I know the rest of the
Yep.
story.
I just want to thank the board and everyone here for understanding my reason for not being here the last month. I have realized as you get older, you don't heal as quickly, and so I'm glad to be back. And I would also say I did have the opportunity before this meeting to look at the auditorium as well as the big hole in the
Next to
parking
Link.
lot.
Yes, sir.
And I had firsthand knowledge that we could hide other things in that ditch if we needed to. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Not quite.
Thank you very much. And I just always am amazed at the amount of energy and effort and work and change that goes on in the summer to prepare for, not only for the next season from an educational perspective, but from a facilities perspective. We do a lot in the heat of the summer. And so I appreciate that. And I appreciate Mrs. Peter-Smart bringing up the fact that a lot of people don't know about the digital pathways. And I know, Vail recently shut down their elementary version, and ours is still open. You can pick a path, or you can come to school on Mondays and Fridays, and Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or all day. When the Sweatlands building, I hear, is underway and will be expanded and have more capacity and more options, which I think is really great. So
They're utilizing that too during summer school as well. Just
Yeah.
something to think about.
during from a summer school,
Yeah, you can go to summer school and take that online course and finish it beforehand. So
beforehand.
it's quite
That's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, get ahead.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, my children always took advantage of summer school as a get-ahead option, so they could get more done. Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and, we don't have any recognition this evening, is that correct?
Correct, sir.
So then we'll go ahead and move on to the next portion of the agenda. Mr. Bruno will read our call to the public guidelines.
Pursuant to Arizona Open Meeting Law, ARS 38431.01, governing board members may not respond to comments on or ask questions of speakers regarding matters that are listed on the meeting agenda. Board action on such matters is limited to directing staff to review the issues, responding to personal criticism, or requesting that the matter be placed on a future agenda for discussion. To ensure efficient use of time, speakers are encouraged to avoid repeating comments made by previous speakers. Concerns or complaints regarding a specific employee or district representative should be directed to the individual's supervisor or to the superintendent in a private meeting. Speakers are respectfully asked to limit their remarks to 3 minutes or less.
Thank you very much. And we have one individual today for public comment, and Mr. Noah Sundberg.
I'm Noah Sundberg. I've lived in the district for quite some time, almost 18 years. And I just want to remind you guys, the ESA was a good option. You didn't make a good choice when you said you didn't want to do it, and other districts have. And the JTED model is a good model to take money from people that are willing to be part of the district, part of the district's extracurricular activities, charge them for it. I don't know who you've gotten. I'm sure you have some numbers on who you've gotten who've said, you know what, I'll take the district's thing, but I want you to know and to look into what is our maximum benefit? How are we maximizing the benefit for our district? And if you're turning away more money that you would collect by collecting it like JTED does versus not, versus what you get, then you're getting a net loss. So you've chosen a net loss outcome. That is my proposition, and I would like you to try to refute it. But it's not just a cost loss. It's an activity loss. You have, first thing, students that help support your programs through parent involvement, through community involvement, through finances, and through their talents, both to make programs and sports competitive and fulfilled enough that they can meet those objectives, but also to bring in those competitive aspects into those programs to say that the kids can have things that draw them to do better. By intentionally restricting your students' exposure to other students, restricting your district exposure to money, or restricting your district's exposure to other people and opportunities, you've chosen to restrict your district's opportunities to be excellent. And I think it's unfortunate for the people that you're intentionally excluding, and for the programs that you're denying money from, and to the students that you're denying the opportunities to have those competitive and enriching experiences from. So I'm continually asking you guys to reconsider your bad decision that does not optimize anything for anybody. You're not getting more money. You're not getting more opportunities. You're not increasing the excellence of the district. And you are not helping the people that would want to be part of the district in some way from being part of the district. I know you allow homeschoolers alone, and I know that many people have said, if I have to be part of the things, the district has state law requiring them to accept homeschoolers, and have said, I will forego my ESA to come, but I haven't met someone yet who said, yeah, I'll switch and the district can have that money. So consider your finances, consider your opportunities, and think, have we really made the best decision for everybody involved? Even if you think of it just selfishly what the district's money is and the district students' opportunities that go full-time, my claim is you've chosen poorly, and I would like you to reconsider. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. Go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, which is approval of Jason Sway's levy tax. Truth and taxation, Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sparks, members of the board. Just a few comments in supplement to Mrs. Huey's very thoughtful insights about this. Is, first of all, this truth and taxation, the adjacent ways levy, is highly restrictive. It's highly regulated. You're talking utilities, you're talking fire access lanes, you're talking roadway access. Where, as you saw in the pictures, we are constructing a lot. And so we need to upgrade and modify and improve these systems. As Lizette also mentioned, this is less than what we've historically done. We've been intentional and purposeful for many, many years, even decades, in the use of these resources, and we've strived to do so very thoughtfully and very methodically. This one is very targeted. It's a very modest amount, and as Lizette mentioned, it's already, although it is separate and has to be requested of the SFB and they have to approve it, et cetera, the fact is the cost and therefore the impact on the tax rate has already been folded into calculations. So when we say your tax rate is not going up, it's staying the same, it's inclusive of that statement. So with that, I think those are the relevant main ideas. That I'm not saying anything new, I'm just kind of reinforcing exactly what Lizette said. And with that, I would recommend the board's approval of the 2027 adjacent ways levy as presented, truth and taxation.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion about the truth and taxation 2027 adjacent ways? Okay. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the approval of the 2027 expenditure budget.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sparks, members of the board. First, I want to take the opportunity just to say thank you for your service as board members. The approval of the budget is one of your very important duties and functions when you take the oath to serve on the board, and it's a big one. As you saw, even with the reduction, it's $63 million plus on the M&O side, plus about almost $7 on the DIA side, and that's just the base budget that we have an obligation, and you are the stewards of the public's trust and their dollars. So thank you for that. It's a trust that we take with tremendous seriousness, and we strive to honor in many ways. Just in terms of a few points about that, and Lizette mentioned this as well, it is conservative. And Dr. Sparks, you kind of summed it up pretty well, sir, that our approach is we'd rather be maybe a little more conservative than necessary, and we can always expand outward based if our efforts, I should say when our efforts yield the fruit of additional stabilization and even growth of student enrollment. But it's easier to do that than to overextend, and then you're having to make those tough decisions about cutting people in programs. 4%, thankfully, I cannot say that I remember a time in my era here where we've reduced, the only one, COVID. But other than that, but I just wanted to use that to point out that the conservative approach that we take. In terms of the M&O side, the only thing that's listed there is something you're very well aware of, is that the only fundamental new money that we're anticipating at this time is that constitutionally required inflation factor, the 2%, which is included in there. We continue to be conservative and thoughtful about balancing the budget, making it healthy and solid on all fronts, including the reservation of significant responsible carry forward for emergencies, and so that we can be nimble and adaptable and able to adjust. So we've been very thoughtful, and it's not easy in this time where things change very, very quickly, and economic forces are in constant flux, and many of the variables involving staffing and the variables that impact our budget are changing quick. So I'm really grateful to Lizette for her leadership in kind of steering a ship that balances all these competing interests, really through our collective efforts to smartly, responsibly shrink the expenditure side, which we've done, and also be real thoughtful and methodical about how we utilize those revenues, which are our tools to deliver our mission. I feel really proud of this budget. I think in this era right now, to be able to have a budget that is so well balanced, so healthy, and so sound, I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that. And well, with that, I am pleased to recommend this evening that the board approve the fiscal year 2027 adopted budget as it was presented.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions, comments? Okay, seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, and we'll move on now to the next item on the agenda, which is new business. And I think in this case, it's the approval of the renewal grant for the Sahuarita High School exterior stairways. Am I correct? Or did I skip
Terms
one?
and conditions.
Terms and conditions,
And
sorry.
yeah, I know, I understand, it's kind of a mouthful. But yes, and again, I think this speaks to the intentionality and resolve of our commitment to be strong stewards of the public's trust and the public's dollar. These are, I believe that current Sahuarita High School is, wow, about 27 or 28 years old already. I think it was finished like in 98 or 99. And we're very vigilant in the maintenance and the upkeep of the facilities, and we've noticed that the exterior stairs, the ones that lead up and down to that F wing, that main academic wing over there, they're in need of some repair, and they're in need of some significant renewal. And we need to do that, because when it comes to making our facilities safe, sound, and operational, that's job one. At the same time, we always strive to be resourceful of available resources, and in this case, the state facilities, is it district they call them now? SFD. They have a program called Building Renewal, where if you qualify, you can get grant money to get repairs that qualify under those programs. They call them grants. I know, Dr. Sparks. But building renewal grants, and so we pursue those. And thankfully, we've received news that we received conceptual approval for that grant, which is exciting, that the state will be able to foreseeably fund this improvement. Now, this first part is the terms and conditions, which requires the board to authorize and to support those terms and conditions. And foreseeably then, after the appropriations process, we hope to be able to get the money to actually repair those stairs, which we are going to do. With that, I would recommend approval of the building renewal grant, Sahuarita High School exterior stairs replacement project, terms and conditions.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I would just like to say I'm grateful that those that sit in the hallowed halls of the legislature and the school facilities district have seen fit to replace the stairs at Sahuarita High School, which I clearly find to be a safety concern. And I'm glad they decided to grant us that money.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe I should look at it as a grant. They're like giving us the money versus like a grant you have to apply for. I don't know.
Okay, I have to speak up now.
Okay.
As a grant writer, there are multiple terms. No one gives you money when you write a grant.
That's true.
A grant is a contract, and they have come to an agreement to give us money to repair the stairs, and they're contractually obligated once we sign the documents.
Well,
So there is no gifting of funds because there are reports and follow-up paperwork. So there is no, you pay for it on one end or the other. Okay,
although-
now I'm off my soapbox.
I will climb back on my soapbox. I do recognize that there is generally a contractual agreement that the school facilities district can break, as they did with us prior, when they granted us money to build 2 buildings and decided after they had granted and given permission and told us to move forward and spend money, said that we could no longer have that second building, but they had to pay for the stuff we'd already spent. So
I will concede at this moment in time.
at this moment, thank you very much. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the core construction GPM for the Walden Grove High School New Addition HVAC Control Retrofit.
Yes, sir. Yes.
The title.
You know, we've got dirt moving and bricks going up and scaffolding going up all over the place. And, you know, on occasion, despite our commitment with Resolved to be as close to perfect as possible, sometimes we overlook things. This is basically a component that realistically should have been included in the construction. This is the 11-room wing at Walden Grove, where like the band room, the sports medicine, it's the new one. And this is the equipment and associated hardware and software that allows the controls, the HVAC controls, to be managed remotely. So right now, they're not. They all have to be the old way of going to do them manually, which it should have been done then. The good news is, what we've lost is a little bit of time. Hopefully the price didn't go up by too much, but we were going to do it anyway, so we're taking basically money from the same pot, and we're just going to do it now. The GMP is for $85,005, I believe is what it says. Yes, $85,005. And I believe, Scott, is it going to be done by the start of school? Or, yes, it'll be done by the start of school, so we'll be fully up and running. And with that, I do recommend approval of this GMP for the Walden Grove New Addition HVAC control with core construction.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'm just grateful that this is happening. I recognize and hear the great lament that happens every summer across the district because our systems shuttle the AC systems to save money. And I'm imagining that across the summer, us closing and managing remotely AC systems saves us a significant sum of money in electricity.
It does, and it
And
really
so-
is convenient from a management and operational standpoint, too.
And makes it easier to
Yes.
fix and manage.
Yes.
But, and so I think this is necessary. I don't even think this is a question. I would venture to say that the payback on this money from being able to remotely control and manage that system is probably not very many years.
I would agree.
All right, thank you very much. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We will now go on to the next item on the agenda, the sole source procurement. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, this is, if your mind is telling you that we have visited this topic rather recently, you are not losing your mind. In fact, you are correct. This is an amendment, and I got to admit, I had to chuckle because, you know, sole source is something that's kind of frowned upon. You have to go through a lot of steps to prove that really you are above any kind of scrutiny in terms of procurement or any of those rules, that you are the sole source. And so this one, I think, if anything qualifies, it's this one. We forgot to leave out the United States Treasury, and in the line, it said, like, what's their qualification? Because they're the only ones that can. I guess that means collect the taxes or something like that. So I'd recommend adding the United States Treasury to our list of sole source procurement.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Including the United States Treasury as the sole source vendor for the required payments for the district. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Thank you very much. Sorry, I had to chuckle on that one. Next item on the agenda is IKF, the graduation requirement. And I believe this is second read.
That's correct, sir, yes. And this is really our efforts in recommending this to you, to really make our policy reflect what is and has been the reality. So we're not changing anything for graduation, but we are a district that does require 1 year of physical education as part of the high school course of study. And we didn't have it listed in our policy. So what we did is we added it as the course of study, which dropped the total number, because it used to be kind of wrapped in the umbrella of, or the blanket of electives. So we list it now. We reduced the elective by 1, and I believe, thanks to the astute eye of Board Member Reese, we fixed an asterisk about another element that was included in this policy about a separate point that was kind of out of order. And we changed the verbiage. The students at the high school, they used the term, they earn credits, not units. And so we clarified or updated that so it's more polished and reflective of reality. And as you said, Dr. Sparks, this is second read, so I would recommend approval of this policy revision as it was presented.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion?
Just thank you so much for getting that put to where it vastly improves the readability of that section. So thank you very much for doing that move.
I agree. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go on to the consent agenda, Dr. Valenzuela.
We have arrived at the consent agenda. You have a list of items that are allowed to be considered in one motion, and I do recommend at this time approval of the consent agenda in its entirety.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion about the consent agenda?
I just want to thank everyone because it's really super helpful. All the fundraisers, everything's listed to just approve all those for the year. It's so helpful to the different clubs, and all the activities are listed on here. So thank you for including that.
Thank you very much. Any further comments? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and the next item on the agenda, no executive session today.
Correct.
And any possible future agenda item requests at this time. Okay, so we'll go ahead and establish the next meeting here in the middle school library on July 8th at 6 p.m. And may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Motion and second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We appreciate you all being here this evening.